Scripture to consider before the news. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. The he referenced in the Scripture of truth will be the final pope and false prophet which causes all to receive the mark of the beast in the middle of the upcoming final prophetic week for Israel, the 70th week spoken of by Daniel the prophet. As we march into the global kingdom of the beast, we will start to see more mandatory vaccination pushes in all aspects of life. This is to get the lost mentally prepared to receive a mark in the right hand or forehead to buy or sell. Just know how it all ends before the dreadful day of the Lord. Now unto the news. Vaccinated Palestinians to pray at the Temple Mount during Ramadan. Some 10,000 vaccinated Palestinians will be permitted to visit the Temple Mount on April 16, COGAT announced on Tuesday. The entry will allow Palestinians to pray there during the first Friday of Ramadan. The spread of coronavirus among Palestinians is still quite high and many are still not vaccinated, but they requested access to pray for the sick nonetheless. After much discussion among medical and security officials, the request was approved by the government, allowing vaccinated individuals to pray freely on the Temple Mount. Still, the majority of Palestinians, who are not vaccinated, will not be permitted to join in the prayers. The Palestinian Authority has struggled to provide enough vaccinations for its population. Today, over 80,000 coronavirus vaccines have entered the Gaza Strip and over 200,000 vaccines have been donated to the Palestinian Authority to be used in the West Bank. Israel has also initiated its program to vaccinate 120,000 Palestinian workers in Israel and the West Bank settlements, so the number of vaccinated individuals has increased. A reassessment of the health and security situation and permissions to enter the Temple Mount will take place after April 16. In other news, Saudi Arabia says Iran must be prevented from obtaining nuclear weapons. The international community must take measure to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons, Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs warned on Wednesday. Iran's increase of uranium enrichment to 60% cannot be considered as part of a peaceful program, the ministry said in a statement reported by state TV Al-Akhbariyah. The world should take into account the concerns of the countries in the region about the escalation of Iran, the statement said. The international community must reach an agreement with Iran, the statement added, urging for stronger parameters of a longer duration. Saudi Arabia said it was following with concern the current developments of the Iranian nuclear program and called on Iran to avoid escalation and not to expose the security and stability of the region to further tension. The kingdom also called on Iran to seriously engage in the negotiations currently underway. Meanwhile, the European Powers Party to the Iran nuclear deal told Tehran on Wednesday that its decision to enrich uranium at 60% purity and install a further 1,000 centrifuges at its Natanz site were contrary to efforts to revive the 2015 nuclear deal. Talks between world powers, Iran and the United States are due to resume in Vienna on Thursday, but in a joint statement Britain, France and Germany said Tehran's decision to enrich at 60% was not based on credible civilian reasons and constituted an important step in the production of a nuclear weapon. Iran's president said his country's decision to dramatically increase its uranium enrichment after saboteurs attacked a nuclear site, an answer to your evilness, saying Israel hoped to derail ongoing talks aimed at reviving Tehran's tattered nuclear deal with world powers. This weekend's sabotage at the Natanz nuclear facility appears to be part of an escalating shadow war between the two countries. Israeli authorities have not commented on the attack, but are widely suspected of having carried it out. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so you can get notified whenever new Bible prophecy news videos are uploaded. In other news, Jewish population at lowest percentage since founding of Israel. Scripture to consider. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. The Lord will preserve 144,000 male virgin Jews in the upcoming latter half of the 70th week, which is also called the time of Jacob's trouble. Regardless of how low the number of Jews gets, there will still be a remnant saved, because the Lord is faithful and they will see whom they have pierced at his return. Back to the news. The proportion of Jews in Israel's population fell below the threshold of 74% for the first time this year, data from the Central Bureau of Statistics, CBS, published on Monday in honor of Israel's 73rd Independence Day has revealed. The report shows that close to the establishment of the state in 1948, the Jewish percentage of the population stood at 82.1%, while today it stands at only 73.9%. On Israel's 70th Independence Day, the rate of Jews was 74.5%, a decrease of more than 0.5% in just 3 years. Additional data reveals that on the eve of this Independence Day, the population of Israel is about 9.327 million. Segmentation shows that about 6.984 million are Jews, 73.9%, and about 1.966 million are Arabs, 21.1%, including Muslims, and Circassians, Arab Christians, including Armenians, and Druze. About 467,000 people are defined as others, including non-Arab Christians, members of other religions and those registered as having no religious classification in the population registry. Since last Independence Day, Israel's population has grown by 137,000 people, an increase of about 1.5%. During this period, about 167,000 babies were born, about 16,300 immigrants arrived and around 50,000 people died. Since the establishment of the state, about 3.3 million people have immigrated to Israel, with around 1.5 million of them arriving since 1990 with the beginning of the Great Wave of immigration from the former Soviet Union. During this period, about 129,000 citizens born abroad also immigrated to Israel. Scripture to consider for your eternal soul. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. If you cannot prove your name is in the book of life, you are in serious trouble. BeingJustified.com can help you while in the land of the living.